back to another video. Today we're going to be looking over and unboxing a bunch of Dubia that I bought. So since we're working on expanding our Dubia colony, I do have a local breeder who breeds thousands of these guys. Right now I'm not going to give his name away, but you guys can see just in there kind of like how many are in there. We bought 10,000. There's a bunch underneath here. You guys can see a couple of those. See if it... There we go. Yeah, so there's like a bunch under here, a bunch over there. Flipping some of these over, we have thousands. I mean, thousands. So I bought 10,000 of them. Obviously, there's going to be more. Let me zoom out. Still working on this camera. First time I actually have it on a tripod. So now I can use both of my hands. But, I mean, I could flip these over, and you guys can see all of the... See, look at that. All of the Dubia at the bottom. Look at all the ones on here. So 10,000 Dubia. So today, basically, it's going to be a nice, quick, short video on just how to put a Dubia bin together. At least how I like to do it. You guys saw that when I was sorting out some of the Dubias we bought last time, but this time I'm actually going to show you with an actual bin how we like to do it. So that's the bin that we're going to be doing. Let's go ahead and zoom all the way out. There we go. That's the bin that we're going to be using. Now, it is very simple to set them up. I am going to go over the care of how I use them, or how I do the bins, and how I get them breeding a lot for me. And one of these upcoming videos, we're going to go ahead and take some Dubia out of my own breeding colonies, so you guys can kind of see me producing my own, sorting my own, and then making new bins for them. But for now, we are going to be doing the egg crate. I mean, set up the bin is definitely not that hard. But, I mean, I guess I could say that because I have the materials for them. But overall, setting up a brand new bin is still fairly easy. It is not hard. Basically just egg crate and a bin. You don't need a lid, theoretically, as long as you, like I would just put a petroleum jelly substance on the edges just so any of them don't climb up. But if you're going to have any climb up, it's usually because this is just dirty. So like the walls are dirty. Whether that be, I always just wipe them out with some water or some vinegar water, and then just wipe the edges, and I never have them climbing. So for years, you guys have seen I don't have lids on them. One of my biggest videos on here is my roach room back in the day when I had a lot more roaches than I do now. But in that one, you guys saw I didn't have any lids on most of the roaches other than like the Madagascar hissing cockroaches, any of the ones that are known to climb even smooth plastic. Those all had lids versus these guys, they don't need it, honestly. But just so you guys know what I'm working with, this is I haven't used this one, an 80 quart sealed gasket tub. I got these from Home Depot. Menards doesn't sell these anymore. They used to, but they got out of these ones. But Home Depot still keeps them, so that's great for me. So I just go to Home Depot and just buy them there. But literally, all I'm going to do, make it very simple, is just put one egg crate on one side. And if you guys remember the other video, the reason why I put egg crates vertical is so the poop and stuff can fall straight down to the bottom and doesn't sit in the egg crate, make it moldy, and just make it go bad faster. Mine last, I usually never even need to change out my egg crates if I don't want to. So they last a long time for me. But if you have them vertical like that, as they poop and the poop goes in these little cracks or these little divots right here, some of that moisture can just collect and really is not a great place for bad bacteria. Well, it's a great place for them to grow, but not a place that you want them in your bin, especially when you're going to be feeding these to your animals. So you want to keep it relatively as clean as possible, as healthy as possible. So all I'm going to do is, some people like to put little pieces of cardboard in between each one of these pieces. Not me. I can understand doing it. I just don't feel the need to myself. So I'm just going to do it like this. It's basically just offsetting it. Basically one little space, just offsetting it just a little bit, and then just putting it front to back, front to back, front to back, going all the way across. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, that is what I truly would say is the best way to do it. Let me make sure you guys are looking at what I'm looking at. Yeah. So, if I'm going to be honest, that is the best way to do it. This is how I like to do it. Ever since I started doing it like this, I've never went back. Always had great success when I was focusing on breeding. Always had great success this way with them. So for now, I'm just gonna keep going, and then I could fit one more piece in there, just like that. So then now, that's nice, that's tight. Not too tight, I can still move each individual one, but I like it this tight because they get to move around a lot more. So especially when I sometimes put food at the top, like bananas or something like that, they can crawl across each egg crate and still get a piece of the food. So for now, that's basically majority of the project right there. Let's go in just a little bit more. Now with this, here's the bin that we're gonna be putting in there, just so you guys see again. I can move this. I'll put this on the egg crate for now just to show you. But we got a lot of dubia that we're going to be putting in here. So that's probably actually going to be the thumbnail. Who knows? We'll see what this side looks like. But yeah, so all these dubia, what we're going to be doing now is, just so you guys know, for featured creatures, as we continue to grow our process and our own breeding capacity, we are going to be sorry, I definitely had a blink. We are going to be doing a little bit more wholesale, but I am going to be buying them at this stage, growing them up a little bit, so I know kind of what they've been fed and stuff like that. So, but for now, this is it. This is what we're going to be pouring in there. Sorry guys, I actually paused the video, or I stopped it just for a second so I could take photos of this, so you guys are going to be seeing this on the thumbnail. But for now, let's go ahead and put that all inside of the bin. And so, just like I said, that's the bin. This is going to be my little water space, or my water holder for all the gelatinized water. But for now, just so I don't kill any of these ones underneath, I'm just going to scrape them off and then just put this directly on the ground. Now, as I get more dubia in here, they're always going to have access to water, so they're not going to be bum rushing the water. So that's why I don't need too big of a water dish at all. So I will have a bigger feeding dish, because a lot more of them will definitely be eating at all times, or majority of the time trying to get bigger. But water, they're not going to be all there at one time. Plus it's always going to be full, so I'm not too worried about it. But all I'm going to do now is basically just grab all these dubia and just start dumping them in here. So I'm going to hit them out. You guys can kind of see. Okay, let me. Yeah, I think it's a lot easier to buy these. I have, like I said, 10,000 here. I think next month, if you guys want to watch that video, I think next month I'm going to buy maybe 30 to 40,000 dubia, just to, you know, grow that. I want to grow the department a little bit faster, because I got an update that's going to be coming in 2 days, because we have a few more really big updates for the business that are definitely going to change the frequency of videos that I have, or at least a bunch of different video ideas. Because I know you guys like the updates, but to me it used to be hard to be consistent with the videos as I'd want to, mainly because you know, I didn't know if you guys wanted to watch similar videos all the time. But then I kept getting people commenting or messaging me on Facebook and stuff like that about the business, wanting updates and things. So that's kind of why I'm getting back into it. But now it is, you know, we're going to be, just look at the amount of dubia that are on here. Yeah, so like with this amount, it's going to be great because, you know, 10,000, wait until all of those become adults. This is what this bin we are going to be selling out of as they grow. But I know in like a week I'm going to go buy another like 20,000 and keep that one specifically for growing. Obviously, I don't think, not that I don't think, I'm most likely going to hold a decent amount of these back. If there's 10,000, I'm probably going to hold at least 2,500 back. And try and get as many females as I can, because that'll boost the production rate of what we have tremendously. Buying babies is great, but when those babies become adults, that's what we're kind of looking for. And then basically all it is just pouring the rest of them in the top. And then now that's it. That's a bin. I got one more step that I have to do, and then I'm going to show you guys where I'm going to place these and kind of like what are the parameters they do to keep the humidity in there and stuff like that. One of those is, I can tell you right now, always keeping water in the water dish. You don't really have too many issues at all with the dubia, especially as they get bigger and they're pooping down there. It is going to be holding some humidity or something like that. And then with the water dish in there and a lid, they do really well. I always fed them oranges, I always fed them bananas, squash, sometimes pumpkin, and that gave them a lot of the humidity that they had, or a lot of the water content that they had in their body. But definitely adding the water crystals, that is probably the only reason why I would get a bigger dish. Because right now, they don't need it necessarily to eat, but it will help out with the amount of humidity that's consistently within the enclosure. I'm going to shake some of these just to get some of that stuff to the bottom. Now I've had them in here had them in this bin for a couple days. I was watering them and stuff, but I wanted to make a video out of it for you guys, so that's why there's just a little poop in there. But now we're going to do pretty much what's the easiest part of all this, and that is just the food. So with adding the food, we have a nice food dish like that. Use this in the last one, and they loved it. So now let's see if we can get a better view on that. There we go. Yeah, so this food dish, loved it. They loved it last time. I love it every time. So we're just going to continue on with that one. And then, video's already at like 10 minutes. So I'm going to make this last part quick for you guys. But I'm just going to put them here. Not trying to crush really any of them, of course. And then just a little bit of food. That's all it is. Getting a few messages, but if we go here to my mixture of food, could have had all this together at the same time. If we go here to my mixture of food, now we can, here it is, in here, just a mixture of two things. If you guys want to know what it is, just reach out to me. I'd love to answer and talk to you guys in the comments. So if you guys want to know, definitely just let me know. I'm going to put my group chat on pause for a second. But yeah, so just going to put this in here and pour it. Now with this, I like to just make sure that they kind of always have food. But with that, I don't want to really have too much overflow of the food. I am going to add a few beetles in here just to keep it really going real well for us, but I don't want to add an overflow of food just because, you know, more food, more things that can kind of go wrong. You want them to eat it so it's not staying in there so long with roaches that are going to be walking over frass, so it is going to be walking over the poop. Even though I know what I've been feeding them, they're going to be walking over the food. So if you have too much food in there, there's 10,000 in there. I haven't fed them in 2 days, so I know they're going to be eating a lot of this over the next couple of days, but typically I won't feed this much. I'll be supplementing with bananas and kind of gauging how much they eat from that like I used to. So yeah, guys, that's it. That's a bin. I'm just going to go ahead and put this where I put the rest of my bins and just show you guys how I have it set up for them. But yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, so now this is the bin. This is where I'm going to keep it. Up there is a ceramic heat emitter. You guys have seen that in other videos. I do have more, I just don't have that one kind of like plugged in right there. But in here, you guys can see, we have some buffalo beetles that we're going to be adding to this enclosure. So not all of these, but every time that we kind of pour some stuff out, like frass and stuff, we put it all inside one bin, and I kind of just collect them from there. And this is, I just poured more frass in there from that last video that we just did, but this is what it looks like. That's our bin. That's what the bin looks like. So I mean, I'm going to take some more beetles out of it, some Dubia roaches, and I just kind of like sit this in the middle of the enclosure, and it kind of just sits in there, like sits right down in the middle of the frass, and they kind of like fall over the sides into this. So they've had, I mean, they've had great success for me breeding. These are all the ones that I've bred, majority of it at least. So yeah, guys, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, definitely leave a thumbs up. I got another few videos that I have coming out over the next couple of days. But yeah, for now, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!